Hi guys, it's your girl Beauty by BB, and today's tutorial is going to be on this look right here. It's a very fresh, springy look. I'm just so inspired by spring, y'all. Like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Also gonna see how I do my updated foundation routine, updated brow routine. I also did a little bit of contouring in here. You'll catch all of that later on in the video. So if you wanna see how I achieved this look right here, keep on watching.
Alright you guys, so let's get started here. I'm going in with my NYX Studio Perfect Photo Loving Primer, and I'm just going to be focusing that part along my T-zone area the most, since that's where I tend to get the most oily. Now to start the process, I usually go in with my NYX Tinted Brow Mascara, and this is in the color Black, and I just use this to prep my brows for when I'm actually drawing them on. Here I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pomade, and this is in the color Ebony, and I'm basically just drawing on my brows here, filling in the tail, and I'm going to be going back and forth with my eyebrow brush and the pomade, just making sure that I comb everything through, didn't miss any gaps or anything like that. I like how I call this a process though. Anyone like me who doesn't really have eyebrows understands that this crap is indeed a process, and it's tedious. Now I'm going in with my LA Girl Pro Conceal, and this is in the color Fawn. I'm just using this for cleanup with my little flat brush here, and I'm going to be blending that out as well, as you'll see me do in just a few minutes. Now for this brush, I don't remember what brush this is, however you could also use the Morphe M200 brush just to blend out this concealer and just make it nice and clean. It'll do the exact same thing. Going in with my 28 Neutral Palette by Coastal Scents, I'm just taking this bright, kind of tannish color, and I'm putting that in my brow bone area for my brow bone highlights. Now it is time to color correct. I am using the LA Girl Pro Conceal High Definition Concealer, and this is in the color Orange Corrector. I'm just placing this under my eyes where, you know, my dark circles are, warming the concealer up with my finger, and then blending it out with my sponge even further. Now I'm going in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer, and this is in the color Beautiful Bronze, and I'm just going to be placing that under my eyes, over the Orange Corrector. Then I will go in with my Morphe S3 brush just to make sure it's blended in properly, and then right after that I'll go in with my Beauty Blender just to pick up any extra product that is laying around there, and that will prevent it from caking up later, because that's not cute. Not cute. Now I'm doing something a little different here. I'm going in with my Studio Fix powder by MAC, and this is in the color NW43, and I'm just using that to set my under eye concealer there instead of using the translucent powder. I just kind of like this a little better. Not saying that I won't use the translucent powder anymore. I just like the look that I get using this powder versus, you know, the white translucent powder. Just preference right now, you know, I might change later, might not, we'll see. Now it's just time to conceal those dark marks, so I'm going in with my Beautiful Bronze Concealer by LA Girl and just covering up my dark areas. I've seen people do this with the Orange Corrector, but that doesn't work for me. I looked orange as hell, looked like a Oompa Loompa. Y'all can keep that. This works so much better for me, and I'm just gonna stick with it. Now, this is another thing that I'm doing that's a little different. This is the Sephora 10-Hour Wear Perfection Foundation, and I am using the color Mocha and Chocolate, basically mixing those together. Basically just did a pump and a half of each, which I do think was way too much, but you know, it still got the job done. I would suggest if you're mixing, do at least a pump each and see how far you get there, and then if you need more, you know, you can use more product, but I think, you know, the amount that I put out was way too much. However, overall, I did really like this foundation. I wore it all day. I didn't have to worry about getting oily because y'all know I'm a grease monkey. It's horrible, but this was actually really good. I actually really like this foundation, and I, you know, definitely would recommend this to anyone who does have combinations to oily skin as well. Just make sure you set it really well if you do have super oily skin. But other than that, you know, I did actually like this. I'm just going in and redrawing my brows here. Tip, if you are brow deprived, the best thing to do is to do your brows last. That way when you're doing your foundation, you don't have to worry about rubbing it off later on or having to reapply it later too. It's a pain in the butt. Now going in with my Mineralized Skin Finish Powder, and this is in the color Dark Deep by MAC, and I'm just going over into setting my foundation. And here I am just going under my eye area again with my Studio Fix powder in the color NW43. And now it is time to contour. The brush that I am using is the Morphe M400 brush, and I'm using a blush by MAC called Blunt, and I'm just carving that area out, and I'm about to start talking soon, so you'll get a little bit of a tip on exactly what I'm doing here.
Contour much, but I think I'm going to start doing it. I was actually just experimenting with this powder contouring because I do have oilier skin, so if I do that, it's getting warmer out. That's something I really want to stay away from right now. So what I used is this blush by MAC, and it's called Blunt, and I just took a fluffy brush like this. This is the Morphe M400 brush, and I kind of just sculpted out where my cheekbone is. I kind of felt around for it right here, you know what I mean, and just pinched the brush like this and just glide that along my cheekbone area. Yeah, and just, you know, kind of sculpted it out. It doesn't look too much. It looks natural, which is what I like. Like natural makeup, but not so natural because packing it on, but you know, whatever. Back to the tutorial. I'm gonna do the other side so you guys can get another glimpse of that again. And yeah, I'm probably gonna start doing this more often because I like it.
Now I'm just taking my NW43 powder, and this is in Studio Fix by MAC, and I'm just carving out my cheekbone area. I'm noticing now that after I did this, I should have gone in with a fluffy brush and just blended it out just so I don't have a harsh line there, but you know, that's something that I will definitely do next time, and it is a tip to you guys. Learn from my mistakes, please. Now it's time to contour the nose. This is the Morphe M208 brush, and I'm using that same blush by MAC, and it's Blunt, and just carving out my nose here as you'll see me do. going in with my highlight, and this is the Becca Highlight in the shade Rose Gold. And I'm just taking that along with my fan brush and just brushing that along my upper cheekbone area. I'm going to brush it a little bit on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and on my cupid's bow, as well as my chin, just so I look like a daggone light bulb, because that's just the only way to do it. And you know what? I definitely forgot to highlight the bridge of my nose, so I'm going in with Fawn by LA Girl. This is the Pro Concealer. Just placing that on the bridge of my nose, the middle of my forehead, and taking my beauty blender and just blending that in nice and seamlessly. I know I didn't show it, but before I put the Becca highlight down, I actually set that highlight, the cream highlight, with my NW43 MAC Studio Fix powder. Now I'm just going in with some blush, and this is the MAC blush in the color Razin, and the brush that I'm using to apply this is the Morphe M105 brush, and I'm just brushing that onto the apples of my cheeks. Now I'm going in with my Nicka New York liner, and this is in the color Pink Flamingo, just covering up my waterline with that shade and basically just prepping it for what I'm about to do next. Now I'm going in with my eyeliner by MAC, and I believe it's called Designer Purple, and I'm just going to be blending that out as well. Now I'm going in with my Morphe 35C palette and just taking that magenta color that I just displayed a little earlier and just brushing that over the Designer Purple that I had put down before. And I kind of want this to be darker from the outer part of my eye and have an ombre effect, so as it goes to the inner corner of my eye, I would like it to get lighter. So the brushes that I'm going to be using to make sure that this blends in well is the Morphe M200 brush, going back and forth between that and the Morphe 208 brush, as you'll see me do. Using that same Morphe palette, just taking that powder pink color and placing it in the inner corner of my eyes there, just to enhance that ombre effect and to brighten up my eyes, make them appear whiter, as if they already don't need to be. But you know, the bigger the better. Now I'm going in with my Sephora In the Light palette, and this is in the color Soft Gold, just placing that on the inner corner of my eye, and then I'm just replacing that Pink Flamingo liner.
I'm going to go ahead and start doing my wing liner. I decided to talk this part through. I've done it before, but I'm just gonna do it again just in case, you know, none of you have seen that video. It's one of my first videos, I believe, where I just talked through how I do my wing liner, but I'm gonna do it again because I haven't done it in a while, and you know, I can. What I like to do is I have my NYX black gel liner, and I take my angle brush and I just swivel it around, and here I'm like going. And then, you know, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen me do this before, just flatten it out on the back of my hand palette. And what I like to do is just start from the outer corner of my eye and drag the product upwards. I'm holding my brush this way so that it makes it a lot easier for me to draw that angle. And I just take it straight up like this. Just like that. Now, after I do this part, I don't usually like to start, you know, draw my wing this way. I like to bring it down this way. So I turn my brush around so that it's facing this way, like this, and I just swing that product straight across. I like my eyeliner to be pretty thick and then get thinner as it goes, you know, down to the inner corner. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw my triangle. And that's one way that I learned how to do this. Just take an angled brush, like a triangle, you know, make a triangle shape, and then you just go ahead and just connect and just swing it. I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but whatever. And just like that. You just take that product and carefully just swing it across. And you can take your time. I literally just go straight across because I'm so used to doing this, but take your time so that you get that nice crisp line. And then once I do that, and I bring it like at least halfway through, I start to fill in that triangle. I'm just gonna fill it in like this. And I haven't re-dipped my brush in any product yet. I just want to get a smooth surface. And then, as I get closer to the inner corner of my eye, I kind of take my brush and I'm gonna dip a little bit more product and flatten it out just a little bit. And I'm just gonna go ahead and catch that inner corner. And I'm holding my brush in this direction as well. As you guys can see, holding it like that. And I am slowly just taking my time because I always tend to mess this part up and have to start over, and it's just not fun. So, I think I got it. Oh yes. Oh yes. Yeah, baby, got it. So I just decided I wanted it to be a little thicker. So that's what I'm gonna do. So now that we have the wing, what I go in and do next is just clean up that area. So I go in with either foundation or concealer. Today I'm going to go in with Kat Von D as usual, because I like the consistency of it. It's not too thick. I like it. So that is why I use that for myself when I am doing my cleanup. The consistency is just different. And I feel like I have a lot more control over it than, you know, a thicker concealer. So I kind of messed that up, so I'm just gonna go ahead and draw that in there. All swaying things. I'm gonna do my other eye, and I'm going to try my hardest to get them to match. Use a white eye pencil just to widen up my eyes a little bit, and as if they're not big enough, but you know, the bigger, the better. You feel me? So I'm just going to go ahead and line up the inner part of my eye, and I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see that. This pencil, and slowly building that color onto the inner part of my lid, of my lower lid. What I'm gonna do is just prep my eyes for my lashes, but first I'm just gonna put some mascara on my bottom lash line, and I'm just going to hold my head down like this. Is a trick that I learned from watching the lovely, tiny, infamous tutorial. What she did, which I'm gonna show you now. This is my mirror. I'm tilting it. If it was to sit on my table, it'd probably be like right here. So I'm tilting it kind of downwards and looking up into the mirror like this. So that way, when I'm putting on my mascara, you know, I don't have to worry about it bleeding down on my eye makeup. That's cool, right? I am taking some mascara, and this is just a mascara that's, you know, I picked up at the beauty supply store, and I'm just going to go ahead and put that on my lower lash line. And I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see. This will eliminate any, holding your head down like this is gonna eliminate any issues with, you know, the mascara getting on your makeup, on your under eye area, smudging, all that good stuff. Not good stuff, I mean, that's horrible, but, you know. This wasn't even supposed to be a top 3, y'all. Not at all. It started out one way, and it's just ending something completely different. You guys should let me know. Do you prefer for me to do top 3s? Or do you prefer for, you know, me to just do the time-lapse videos? Let me know, and, you know, based on what you guys like, I will deliver. Your wish is my command. But, yeah, so just let me know if that's something you guys want to see me do, if it's more helpful for you, yeah, just let me know. And do you see how easy this is? holding your head down like this. Like, I have not messed up not one time, and I'm just gonna knock on wood, because knowing myself, I would have jinxed myself and it would have just been a mess. Look, y'all, look, my nails look so cute. Let's just talk about that real quick. Like, look at that glitter. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And if you guys notice, like, I'm going over them multiple times because I'm just building that mascara up so that it's more bold. We don't want a weak lower lash line. We ain't gonna do no weak lower lash line up in here. We ain't about that. We ain't about the weak lash line. We about the strong lash line. Bring it back. Bring it all the way back. My upper lashes for mascara. I'm not gonna do as much as I did to the lower lash line. Just gonna do a small coat so that they blend in with my lashes nicely. Alright, so I decided to give my camera a little break and put on one of my lashes. These are the House of Lashes Nior Fairy. They look like this. Excuse a little bit of glitter on them, but you know, it's whatever. Lashes are very thick, very wispy. I think they're perfect if you have on a thicker eyeliner or a wing liner. So what I'm going to show you guys how to do is how to apply these lashes. Doing the same trick as before, except instead of tilting the mirror down, I'm going to be tilting it upward like this. So as it sits on my table, I can actually look down into my mirror and kind of hold my head back a little bit. That's going to help the application process to be so much easier when you're applying lashes. For those who may have trouble or trying to learn how to apply lashes, that is the easiest way. That is how I learned, and just trying to make it simple for you guys, that's all. So what I usually do is do that, and then I'll kind of tilt my head back like so. So I'm looking down into my camera, and I am just fitting this lash on my eye, kind of putting it in the position that I want it to lay when I actually put my glue down. So the eyelash glue that I'm going to be using is just some regular eyelash glue that I got from the beauty supply store. It's by IMV, and it's called Super Flex Rubber Type Eyelash Adhesive, and the color is black. Okay, and I'm just going to, like this, I like the little applicator thing that it has, so I'm just going to go ahead and swipe that across the band of the lash line. I'm going to be taking my lash, looking down into my mirror, and what I do is just rest it down on my eye like that. Put it down, rest it on my eye. Now what I like to do is kind of position it so I take the outer corner, and then what makes it so much easier for me is when I use tweezers. Tweezers make everything so much easier. I know some people do it with just their hands, but I can do it with my hands sometimes, and other times I'm just like, you know what, I need some help. I need some help. So what I do is I just take it and try to get it as close to my lash line as possible so that you don't see any gaps, it's not lifting, anything like that. I usually use my tweezers for the inner corner so that, you know, because it's a much smaller place in there. Much smaller place, it's easy to get lost. So tweezers, it makes it so much easier to get into that small area there, and I just press it down onto my lash, and then for the outer part, I kind of just push it up on my lower lash line and pinch like this, just trying to get it as close to my lash line as possible. And that's basically what you do, is you just, this is the process of just pinching and making sure that it's fitting and everything is just staying on your lashes, or you know, on your eye. Because it's not cute to be walking around and have your freaking lashes kind of, you know, straying away from your eyelids. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it drives me freaking crazy. When, you know, when people have their lashes on, there's not enough glue, and the inner part starts to lift up, or the ends start to lift up, and it's just like, you gotta say a prayer or something, because, woo! Alright, so what I'm going to go in with next is, this is my first time trying this one. It's Mess Around by ColourPop. It's kind of like Tulips, you know, the outer part. It looks like Tulips, but it's a little bit lighter than Tulips is. Well, no, it doesn't look like Tulips at all. It reminds me of Kapow. That's a lie. This is Tulips. This is Mess Around that I'm going to be using, and this is Kapow. They're kind of similar. Mess Around, it might be a little darker than Kapowa's, so yeah, and then, you know, Kapowa is an ultra matte. This is a satin, ultra satin. I'm gonna go in, let's see, I'm just gonna dumb it down just a smidgen. Ombre effect, I'm just going to go back in with Mascara again and just add that to the inner part of my lip.
Alright guys, so this is the final look here. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It was actually requested by an old friend of mine, Jasmine, and she was asking me, you know, do something with contouring and highlighting, and I was like, okay. I think I'm actually going to incorporate this into my foundation routine again. It's something that I kind of just let fall off a little while ago, and like now that I'm seeing this, I'm kind of trying to figure out why. If you like this look, if you love this tutorial, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if there's anything that you guys want to see me do next in my next tutorial, you can go ahead and just comment it down below, and I will definitely do that for you. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.